successfully and end up at it. So Museveni feels like has stolen the election and he's going to take this. It doesn't negate the fact that His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu won the election, and the fact that His Excellency Kyagulanyi, if is what God has meant to be, that he be the president of Uganda, he is going to, and I believe that he is the chosen person. Pastor Simwe today, and in his sermon he talks of and his dreams destined for greatness, but his right to make, Joseph had a special God that he would one day be a leader. And when he told his family members, when he told his father, his siblings decided to eliminate him by selling him off to foreigners, like they sell goats, but that is what was supposed to happen to Joseph, to get him to where he was supposed to be. So for Uganda, okay? My belief for Uganda is that we are right where we should be. We know that Museveni will not leave without a fight. We know that he must put up a fight because he knows exactly how powerful Kyagulanyi Ssentamu is. I have no doubt that despite everything that he's doing, that he's going to end up losing anyway. Museveni knows firsthand how powerful what Kyagulanyi Ssentamu is doing is. Museveni is the most fearful person in Uganda. Museveni knows that anytime now, that more than anyone, Museveni knows and feels the change that is boiling in Uganda. So do not despair. Even if he swears in, even if he goes to State House, even if he does, Museveni knows that Uganda is ripe and ready for change. And he can't change that. He can't change that. He knows the power of Kyagulanyi Ssentamu being abroad. Because when Museveni to Uganda, he came through the Western world. He came through the powers that be. Because Uganda as a nation exists in East Africa by geographical location. But there are people who make Uganda what it is. And where Kyagulanyi is in the head of where change happens for anywhere in East Africa or Africa. Kyagulanyi is right where he should be. And Uganda is right where it should be. Can you believe that since 1980, Museveni has influenced elections in Uganda, including making sure that the first president to be would not become. In 1980, Museveni was the first person to go and rig those elections. He went and rigged the election results to get Obote to win the election because it would be easier for Museveni to go and chop up Baganda in Luero than to have the other candidate win the election because he was a Muganda. Had a Muganda won an election at that time in 1980, Museveni would not be able to go and kill Baganda in Luero and take over and come to Obote and tell Obote that, and come to the Baganda and say, Obote is killing you guys. And make the Baganda believe that it's actually Obote who is killing Baganda. No. Museveni knew how weak Obote was because Museveni was in the Obote government and he knew exactly how to influence change. So had the Muganda won the election at that time, Museveni would not have made his path and trail by killing the people in Luero, taking over Luero, coming to save people in the morning after killing them in the night. So since 1980, Museveni has influenced and rigged elections to date Today, Museveni wants to swear in this morning in Uganda because he knows that he has rigged this election. And since 1980, it has been Museveni. He rigged and get Obote to win. When Obote won, Museveni went into Luwero to try to kill Baganda in Luwero, so that he could promise them that he is the savior coming to save the Baganda from Obote. From then, we knew that the Acholi people in particular realized and knew that, oh, the Baganda are bad people because of Museveni's script from the beginning. So, this is no strange area for Museveni. This is common. And he thinks he's living history. He thinks he's making more threads. But we have figured him out, and it's not business as usual. The fact that since he came into power, he has tried to advance how he does things. When he came in, he was sworn in at the steps of Parliament. Today, he has 350,000 drones flying in the air, trying to present a picture of him to make him look like he is a powerful man. But Museveni's times are gone. I would say do not despair. I would say Uganda is right where it should be in the revolution. Right there. Right there. Museveni would never check out a different way. This is how Museveni will check out. They say even a murderer cries for his life to be spared. That is Museveni for you. So, think about Joseph. Think about the dreams that were put in Joseph. Think about him saying, you know, I was told by God that I will be king. That's what Joseph told his father. That's what Joseph told his brothers. And his brothers said, you know what? Let us get rid of this guy very, very quickly before he thinks that he can become king or whatever. They did everything they could. They threw Joseph in a hole. They dug a hole and threw Joseph in it. They later on sold Joseph as a slave somewhere. But for sure, when Joseph went to meet his destiny, to become king, he did. And so we must know that there are steps, however painful, however hard, however difficult, however different, that we must go through to get to where we should be. All of us have gone through something where we thought this is the end of our life. This is the end. I can't come out of this today. But we made it, and we made it even better at the end on the other side. So I want to encourage Ugandans that we are right where we should be. Right where we should be in this revolution, because Museveni knows more than all of us that it's time for change. And everything he's trying to do is not going to stick. Benedict, yes, he has fooled Ugandans for a very, very long time. Since 1980, Museveni has influenced elections in Uganda. Since 1980. As I mentioned, when Obote came into power, when he helped Obote win, he knew that Obote is a weakling. He knew his weaknesses because he was in his government. Had he had a Muganda win in 1980, Museveni would have no words to tell the Baganda about how bad Obote is. It would be very difficult for Museveni to convince the Baganda that he's the savior, which right now, as he plans a transition to give his son the next leadership, you hear a lot about PLU. Muhoozi is coming out and speaking about PLU, PLU, PLU. That is part of their transition plan. But it is forceful and will not take shape. It will not. So Uganda is right where it should be. I have a few security alerts that I could not go to bed tonight without letting you know. So I'm going to go through them so that we can be aware, take caution, and be... Yes, Ogwang James, you're right. Divide and rule, he says. That's what Museveni has always used. It's the same thing. You know, when Acholi people speak to you, and I still have a hard time convincing some people from Acholi land, because all they have in their mind most of the time is that, but Chagulanyi is a Muganda, but he's a Muganda, but the Baganda did this to Acholi people, but the Baganda did this. So that thing that Museveni put in the minds of the Baganda when he came to power, when he came to Luero and killed people in the night, then came in the daytime to cry with them, he went ahead and told the Baganda that those Bacholi are killing you, okay? The Obore people, he called them the Bacholi. Eventually, they called them the Bachope. They are the ones who come and kill Baganda. So when the Baganda got that message, they would say things back and call the Bacholi certain names. That is why there's still a divide. It's starting to blur and clear, but it's still there where the Acholi people think, oh, the Baganda, that person is a Muganda. Even the guys, the soldiers who were sent to kill Acholi during the LRA war, they spoke Luganda. Or they spoke like Runyankole, a language which was a Bantu. And it's difficult for Acholi people to say which is which. It's Munyankole, Munyaran, whatever. So because of the language and because of the script of Museveni putting Acholi against the Baganda, it made those two have a divide. That even today, some of them will still refer to Chagulanyi as a Muganda, and yet Museveni is from Rwanda. Even further, you know, he's a whole different nationality. Why don't we embrace our own Chagulanyi, who is a child of Uganda, one of us? So, despite the fact that they're going to swear in, I would say do not despair, because it is time, it is where we should be. Uganda cannot be the same. Chagulanyi came and changed everything. Many times we had thought, we had felt, we debated, but it took this guy from the ghetto to come up and say, you know what, this is the truth, I figured this out. And then all of us started to think, you know what, oh yeah, that makes sense, oh yeah, that makes sense. So collectively, we continue to endeavor to bring change in Uganda. Museveni pian dire ubibino kanga kati muswearing in kololo kacha. Ento atika wachi down machalo Museveni ni manaka na mwali ali bachel kimia bungwen kipia bor. Museveni ena yo beru down o beru kaloko kui kit man kuman. Museveni uloko kui po bore kare chani imwali bario mwali bachel kimia bungwen kipia bor. Uchero chilo kui yogo o wero boro loyo kui. Ngoma wero Museveni wero boro loyo kui. Utimo kumeno we en kai bine luero ka tongu Baganda iluero. Ene bi wajo ki Baganda ni uneno jo atika tongu wuni we. Jo matika tongu wuni jo panga ubore. Gamente po bore tika tongu dane luero. Eno we dane me luero we. Oh kara ubore tika tongu wa we. Ubore dobi ye. And then neno karma Museveni donyi lodge madong en piano ni bi chung chal president. Kimio ki Museveni kui pian down ngeu ni obore matiga mente ni aitika tongu Baganda. Iluero kacha. Baganda uto chok million a beach. Iluero. Ento manaran imwara alibachel kimia bungwen kipiera boro. Museveni oberu kaloko kui. Enong o kenyi dong bini ya chuli. Lumoy mayan or katonga chuli elare woni. E loin pa elare ni uber lumoy man lo leb loga leb keri leb Buganda nyo leb ankole nyankole ki ngogen poko ne oberu teki ira choli karamantika weka choli dege nga luloga Baganda eno wero a choli ki Baganda e winyi down wachi a Chagulanyi to oberu la loga ento wun ko go Chagulanyi kana loga olla ten gang Uganda Kenya Museveni uberu ria yera ma awa ki Rwanda kacha chipping over ye uria yera awa ki Rwanda ena ibino kalon wa ko be chani dong meti wore da ko bino lo en wini lo ke PLU ni we Museveni dong meti en ko be chani ka en bino swearing in ibi chere chi rwenyo ko dong chal satan ko ka dong wore PLU dong dugu ka lodge igament e Uganda Kenya. In fact, when he does come to Kololo, he's going to present his child who has watched The Lion King. You see how Mufasa brings up Simba and presents Simba. That is exactly what Museveni is going to do. When you hear talk of PLU, PLU is in reference to a transition from Museveni to Muhoozi. So with that, a lot of Ugandans who are of Museveni's generation are going to die. They are going to be killed. All these elite brothers and sisters, I'm in the military, I'm so and so, Katumbo, Wamala, and all of them, all those people are going to slowly vanish because Muhoozi wants to have his new environment, his new group of people come into existence who will pledge allegiance to him and not his father. Okay, so this swearing in is essentially a presentation of Muhoozi as Simba in The Lion King. It's presenting the new generation. So those of you who still think it's Museveni, no, it is going to be a presentation of Muhoozi and eventual transition. So here are the things I'd like to talk to you about that are pertaining to the swearing in and what they would like to do. Okay. So they're saying that in their discussion, this is a high security meeting with it's an online high security meeting where they're discussing the government, how it would be uninterrupted during this swearing in ceremony. Okay. Man meeting mabikeli wuma John jopa Muhoozi Salim Museveni gigiberi meeting kijo muka yana mapti security ma ake Rwanda giberu ka cheli kage moko tam gigi wai ngoma dung watim ki John ngoma watim ki John me Uganda kuberi chawani. So it's a high security meeting that was done online between the Muhoozi, Salim Saleh, and a few of the and lady Salim Saleh, Muhoozi, and all those people, the other Banyarwanda who are involved in the political transition of Uganda, okay? They want to clear any threats from NUP, the youths, especially before the swearing in. They want to make sure that NUP members, if they can, they'll keep most of the members of parliament under house arrest. In fact, there was a gentleman of Mukono that I shared the other day that is already under house arrest. We don't know what the circumstances are, but eventually we will. But essentially, they're trying to say that there shouldn't be anything new interrupting the event that is being arranged for Museveni. Okay? They will abduct any NUP members who are supporters of Chagulanyi's team. Any staunch supporters in the area are continuously still being abducted. All roads shall be blocked 30 to 50 kilometers from Kampala city. So tomorrow you will see that they will reduce a lot of traffic around Kampala. One of the other things is they want to turn off internet. So I don't know if it's not morning yet, but when it does get close to morning, there will be challenges with internet and all of that. They have also pre-reviewed a couple of videos where Museveni is with Janet together because, as I mentioned, Janet is not here. So they're trying to make sure Janet appears in those videos or appears somehow. So they're trying to create a circumstance where Museveni may have to dash out of Kololo quickly and then they finish the rest of the event via video or Zoom, which then makes it possible for them to prop up, I don't know, a statue, one of those things that people put on clothes on and present. Maybe they'll use one of her kids, or they'll use an old video where Janet is to present both of them because they did plan ahead and pre-recorded some videos together. But now that she's not here, he's afraid to look alone and have Ugandans question where Janet is. So, Jamia Dep Matika Wachanani. Man meeting ma Johnny Berry any gitika giberka nyamulo kit magu betimu kere jo mati Uganda en malubu niana di en madongu beru ka ganane niana di Imam 7 beru ka swearing in man dira ne ki wachi jo matika temeni kono geni beru noob jo mati supporter pa noob ki bi mako gi ko weng man ni politi mitun Kampala kacha ki bi mako gi weng ki bitilo gi ko kamoni kamukane yo kibiloro yo kilomita piera dek unyo piera beach ma donyi Kampala unyo ma ake Kampala. So to and fro 30 and 50 kilometers from the city, the roads will be blocked. Okay, kitika neno video piani bunungeni Janet kuberi kome pewe ento Johnny pe miero katikere go wachi go be katikilo katopa Janet wa July do ma bero ena go be nyao down ni Janet kara kuona renyoko kuberi chawa ni Museveni pe miete ene nentalo ene ngo any pay kidao inano pian tie war man ma beru tie kan arman bien beru way family dao nyo lutien na pian woril en mo hoze bo beru kono ko pian enini ki be beru kan nyot Museveni bo bien kan nyot mo hoze ki wek mo hoze don beru way wek ne lodge so gina go betemo any karama swearing in bo temene jami mogo bo teme kenya mo bo poyo pian de da makitika planning jo mo kana be no bo chelu pengba mudugo ne chalo ki bi bayo sniper mogo bo beru ka chelu dan tata wek Museveni o li chap chiki tuki kwanyo ne o ki kuno ki te do state house chiki wachi meeting mukane do bi mete ki TV joma no bo dong en kololo kuno do bo nanu jeda gena Museveni ki TV en manong no anti state house en no ni en yot pien kak kumeno en romo keto video mo manom jena ti ye unyo kene jena beru mo le alia kiramu keto duan mal en no gen jena wengi ti machalo chal ki kere ki wachi inge ku beri chani computer dong tikere yoro deda gina ke luoni AI artificial intelligence tuero yupo gimo ke ken kai wachi wek chali bana we chali bana bo wer kai wachi wek chal mai mago litiak o miel chali ane mielo so kimete ke chat ke kunu kake kero kololo down bo nana way Museveni dakte kanado PMK nyu pera mo keto dana tata ma beri way jenet ento ki video mano ki ter ko e state house kacha ki bi kero ke toy mo ma ke ruo ke bani ki ruo bonga pa jena ro ko me wenge kero teko ke maru ko tere ngore no beri way jenet ki come inana we so ene no yot it ge ento pemiete ki nge ni jenet come don pere inana so something might happen at the event. They plan on some shooting, some snipers will cause chaos, and then Museveni will be whisked away to the State House to continue with the event with a doctored video where Janet will be present. Okay? They've also discussed some threats from the police. So recently you have seen a lot of details, conversation about the police have done this, police have done that. They're accusing them of doing all these things. But these are all pre-planned to try to cause some sort of instability or have a way of tying people into their homes. Lockdown, essentially. So all these threats by the police did this, police did that. There was something about a police who buried a Congolese witness or criminal. All of that confusion is because they want to let the police be on stand down, put away, so that SFCs take over police jobs. Museveni does not trust Ugandan military and police anymore. He wants to bring Rwanda's military, which all of them have already arrived. Wait for my list of people who have come to do certain things. So all of these crimes against police, this police, that, eventually they're going to say, police, you people stay because you are too busy committing all kinds of crimes. Let us bring in new police. SFC will take over. As we know right now, the military, Ugandan-born military, have been set aside to go and stay in the barracks. They have no access to ammunition because Museveni is afraid that if they have access to those things, this is the time they could overthrow the government. Okay? Kubedi chawa ni lumon ki police me Uganda, manually me Uganda, don ki kwani muduro ki bot ki ba, ki wachi ki pe dong ni pegu agu chet ka moni ki chet ka gwako Museveni kongo. Police do ki kelugi SFC ma aki Rwanda, mugo aki Central Africa, lumon ma pengeyo gi mo ki ken ma ki winyu mer chik order ki bot la din money. Wai tu chelu neko, temu bena ma peparo. Eno wel Museveni luoni lumon me Uganda kunyoni gi marjo Uganda dida dok bena gen be tika meta loka kunyoni entamni jo lumon ma kinwalo gi Uganda romu kwanyego ki loch chiku beri enya di anyway ibine ano jo ma ro mas no ki unwa tata beri we lu jogi mo tata mora ye lumon ma kelo gi kilo ma wako gubion ka gwako en ginen ma Museveni swearing in Papa Museveni ni jo Uganda don ko lumon watika nena gi barracks kacha. Okay, benagu wachi gimero ne ko generals moguma don ario matimon ario pange nyingi furpia ke kero nyingi ento message mawa no ni jo ario matimon ma don lumon ki police ki binego dana di ario jo mati generals mati enjo luti mati igamente pa Museveni ni gimete ke kwanyo yoko ineno end this time. So the other thing that they've decided to do is to eliminate 2 generals. They have not been mentioned yet, but they are in code. Somehow the discussion was made, but in code, not to be clear of which particular person while this information is being shared. Okay. I wanted to talk about the UEDCL boss and why he was fired, but let's do that for some. Let's wait for another day for that one. Okay. All pilots who will be flying helicopters and drills and swearing in on the swearing in day are all foreigners. Do you see those helicopters in the air? All the pilots who are flying those helicopters for military, showing or whatever, all of them are from Egypt, Angola, and Rwanda. Okay? Lumoy matika duano dege matika kartun kololo iwi yama de dani dege monyi. When aki wako mono pe mon me Uganda, mono mon ma aki lobo me Egypt, Angola, ki Rwanda. Kiwachi, they're saying that after swearing in, all Ugandans should prepare for the worst. Okay? All Ugandans prepare for the worst after Museveni swearing in. He has 52 land titles which he cannot trace their locations. Therefore, he's going to break people's houses where his architects suspect that the land will be. Okay? So, Gament Museveni tiro swearing in kitika wachi wunjo me Uganda uyupe piendong jami mobe time Uganda dobu beru raj loyo. Kita yanki wachi jamu kano beru rachi. Eni donka do tiro dobe beru raj loyo. Jo maduoyo taxi boda. Wen kibiriamo gyo Kampala. Pange ka jomogo tie ma wununge maduoyo taxi Kampala. Kibiriamo gyo wen all taxi boda drivers in the city of Kampala are going to be eliminated. They are going to stop them as soon as Museveni swears in. They have gazetted a few boda stages only, and they are already full. They are only full of state agents. Stage mogadi mogomake wagoni boda buchunye. Ento boda eguni wen jo matiyu pi state. Jo matiyu ki gamente. Giluonge de lo wangamente. Ine anti jo mogoma Museveni ki kero ikimping. No beri wa la we lwet dano nyo la chat la bolu nyo la chat bongi. En jo ma wor me atani. Johnny enu ni wen no tika yanyo information. Johnny eni un po nen ge utamiti atinu business ba. Pien in ke go ka KCCA binu riyam dano wen lu chat nyanya ko lu chat mu yeme ko lu chat ngon wen riyam ge ki di Kampala. Ento tie jo mogo ma peke riyam ge. Johnny enu ni ber jo manti lu wangamente lu wang Rwandese enini. Woro me ata eno ke lo ke penye leba. Penye leb loka penye leba chut penye leb me Uganda. Time me atata ke murke lo ke ento tiche ena yengo kwanyu lok anga mu bera nga ma temu ngo Johnny ka worgi dok kwere chawa dig dugu kwere kitimeni anga ma won ngom chara anga ma la dit ka monini wek dir ma ka plant ye me kwanyu ko pa ngar moni pian kunyoni ki kwanyu ko pa joma tiki chame jamegi neno kakara no romu no Johnny tiki map kita jodi beru ke rakoli weng. So I was saying that usually when they've kicked out or sent away all these people from the area, like KCCA will say, people who are selling, mangoes or whatever, get out of the city. Eventually, there are some people who still come and show up and walk around and hang around. Those are the spies of Museveni. Those are the people who report every movement of everything within the city. So eventually, despite the fact that they're going to stop all of this, there's a few stages where they'll leave some bodas and taxis only to capture and share information, feed them information, okay? Fuel is another thing that they're going to tackle. In the meeting among resolutions, they've agreed to stop supply of fuel across Uganda for a full month. For a full month, there's not going to be a reliable supply of fuel in Uganda. The reason being to manage population. This particularly affects the elites who think when we talk or say things like this, that, and the other, it doesn't affect them. But how many of the poor who are struggling every day actually do drive vehicles? Not many. So I like that this is actually happening, because all of us have to learn a lesson that these people are bad for all. When it rains, it pours on everyone, not just the poor, not just some people. So this will be a big lesson. They're trying to dry out fuel supply for 1 month. Gitiga wachi dwe achiel kulo gimiete mo en mo makikero mutakani ubed pere. Gobi kwanyu supply me mogo pi dwe achiel. Joma dwe mutaka joma beri di city di town kenyuni. Gimiete joma mar waratatani wado bed pere inero. Joma kibi nogi ka waratata gitika beratatani kibi mako gi oweng. All idlers found in the city walking around because they want to dry out Kampala. They will be arrested for being idle and ignorant. So if you are unable to get a taxi because there's no fuel and the taxi people are not there, eventually people will start to walk. Okay, I used to know people who walked long distances to get from point A to B just for livelihood. Eventually those people will get arrested. The goal is for these people to take over Uganda fair and square. Kampala is going to become Rwanda's heart of the city, not anything for Ugandans anymore. So they want to make sure that Kampala is clear for them to do whatever they want. Okay? They're talking, they're whispering all of these things. Okay, so they also discussed a member of the United States coming, a dignitary of the U.S. coming to attend the swearing-in ceremony. They did not really give a name at this time, but I saw today that there was an envoy that came from the U.S. to the event. So, kitika wachi, la dirmo tika ake America, maabo bino any swearing-in pa Museveni ni, ano pia guwaja nyanga, okay? Museveni tika luoro bino eni come I kololo kachani. Pian ngeni kibichele ko nyo ngarumo obumara ko gamenta ne obutu kaka kenyu. So Museveni is still fearful of appearing personally by himself at Kololo because he feels like he could possibly be assassinated or possibly be arrested and taken away somehow. So he's still fearful even if they are promising him heaven and earth, you know. So what they want to do, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to cause some sort of commotion during the swearing-in ceremony where they're actually planting snipers from one end to shoot at the event or shoot some of the flats around Kololo. You people know where those Kololo flats are. I vaguely remember, but there are some flats around the airstrip where Museveni and the Salim Salehs in this very high security profile meeting, they have discussed staging snipers on the opposite direction to shoot toward them, but obviously at the flats at Kololo, so that it causes some sort of ruckus. Some people are going to get shot, some dignitaries are going to get shot, some military leaders are going to get shot, some politicians, you know, those ones that Museveni wants to eliminate are going to be targets. Obviously, NUP members are going to be targets. In the middle of that ruckus, there may be a few people shot while in attendance, and some of the bullets will stray, not stray, but intentionally at the flats. The strays will come into the tents where the oppositions are. So those are going to be those are planned out by the Musevenis to try to rush through the event so that he can finish the rest where? At State House. Obviously, he thinks that once something like that happens, he's going to tie it to the election dissatisfaction that everyone is, you know, having right now, the DR forms that we keep demanding. Eventually, he's going to tie that onto Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, saying that he's disgruntled because he said, do not accept the fake results. Therefore, he's the one who is retaliating, or his supporters are retaliating to try to get Museveni or shoot at Museveni. It is not true. It is planned. They're, like Museveni planned Luwero, like Museveni planned the LRA war, like Museveni planned the election to be stolen when Obote was coming in 1980. When all of this, Museveni is always the perpetrator and he comes as a savior eventually. So anything that will happen in Kololo, remember, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu will never hurt a Ugandan. In fact, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu will never harm even a foreigner unless they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't believe that Kyagulanyi is a violent person, because all this while his preaching is peaceful, voicing our opinions in a peaceful way. He's not an advocate for violence. He does not support killing others. So anything that will happen, any shootings in Kololo, it's going to be Museveni. Any of these days, any shootings that have been, any killings that have been in Uganda have been because of Museveni. Because of Museveni. 5 million in Luero, because of Museveni. When he came in, he wanted to brand Obote a bad person. He killed Baganda in Luero and told the Baganda that it's Obote who is killing them. When he went to the Acholi and he said it's the LRA war, he was the one killing the Acholi people and telling the Acholi people that it's their own brother, the Coin, who is killing them. It is never Museveni's fault, because he always has things planned out. So whatever happens in Kololo, first of all, he plans to turn off the internet. He plans to only have his media SFCs, his SFCs to capture the media. It is all Museveni's doings, start to finish. Good and bad is all going to happen on Museveni's accord, not anybody else. There is not a single Ugandan who is armed to fight Museveni at this point. None. None. Museveni is going to shoot at people himself. He's going to shoot at Ugandans, because the reason he brought foreign militia is to make them come and kill Ugandans at his order. Because maybe if he used Ugandan soldiers, they would divert what they have to do and maybe do something else. So he wants his orders executed as per shooting at old generals and military people, the older people in civil service, the older policemen, the National Unity Platform members are also at risk at this event. Okay? All of them because of Museveni. Nobody else. No one else. No one else. Please remember that since Museveni came into Uganda, Museveni has been the perpetrator of all tiers of Ugandans. Even bad roads is Museveni. Poor education is Museveni. HIV, Museveni. He's all of that. Do not ever think Museveni is saving you. And now he wants to make Muhoozi come as a savior. Muhoozi, Museveni are all bad business for Uganda. Okay? All bad. So, Notika Wachi, okay, here's where I was. Museveni tika luoro bino ikololo ene come. Pien ngeni kibichele ko unyo kibi kwanya ko kibi maga ko kitera ko gamena neto ke kololo. So tika wachi kuberichani piano kelolo mon ki wako ba ana wechi muni jo tika duano dege matiu berka woi wi yamni dege nu jolu duo dege nu aki kololo. Sorry, aki Egypt, Angola, ki Rwanda. Kuperichani lumon me Uganda, me anywali me Uganda. Giti nena barracks kacha. Ki police. Peki di yegi bino ka guako. You made swearing in pa Museveni. Pian Museveni nge ni jo me Uganda matimon. Dong mera loka. Dano ol kerero. Pian manaka yang manaka mwaka Ali Bachel ki mia bungwani piara bor. Museveni ena la balma dit ikom Ugandans. Lueng mi Luero Museveni to Baganda matek. Lueng mi LRA Museveni to Acholi matek. O wow dog down. O wow oripa down. Uker lutene camp. Chichwamba kacha Museveni. Kasese kacha iganke pa kasese. Museveni gene luelu kucheru kuto down ki panga. Ikasese kacha. Ike pa gene pa jo kasese. Museveni ore luelu ucheru chito jo magwao kabara jo magwao la dit ke me kasese kiton jo chaki panga maki kerugi line chalu rech petie gi mo mabe ma Museveni utemu pi Uganda eni lobo Uganda ni Guri marach Museveni. Odian mayat peye Museveni. Lutino kwan mape kwan mabeni Museveni. Chian mati ken penye Museveni. Tomo time tung elare tungang kenyo Museveni. Tomo time Uganda ka weng ya. Ini winyi ki wa kono Al-Shabaab weng Museveni. M23 uberu gene mon pa Museveni. Pe mon mo keken one jo Uganda one po amar lwen. One down ma wa mara dida. Dok wa maru down mo kana dida. Eno wero Johnny ma wa jolo gini gu bien gu kong gu nyongang wa kenyini. Dungu doke wa chatan. Po ye ni gimotie ma Museveni temu ma be it wu Uganda. Petie. Kawa ngeyo gini enu ni. Ineno. Kawa ngeyo ni. Eni dong la. Pera wa wenga ki bon ngateni. Chiwa bi ngeyo kid me gwoke. Chiwa bi ngeyo kid me kwanyo neko. Ento ka food wa timme ni gwok nyo ba. Museveni po dobu wonu ba. Puru be mete. Pien ku belchani endo mete kel wode. Wode tika wachi. Lumonj mogo ma doni. Lumonj eno ni. Pe wore. Ineno. Bonda paro jo mogo mana ngeyo gi kenyengini. Generals gi kwana ngagi. Ludiru monj me Uganda kenyu. Mogo titu gang kenyu Northern Uganda. Wunu ngeyo gi mabe. Muhozi wa Johnny ni pe wore. Miere nek gi ho. Ineno. Muhozi mieru gamente ne obin ki John Jo me mwara ne. Manyuti Jo ma mwara gi do cher. Ma yaw tiyu ki wana ni. O mier dongu ta ho. Wunu neno gine ne. Au yabu wangu. Lumonj wa Jo wa ene nendo chao ki luer jo mogo ni. Jo mogo magu to Lion of Mogadishu. Mono weun nego gi pien miti yone obed mano ayele mo ken pe. Pe mier dan mo mariak lo en. Pe mier dan mo la loin lo en. Pe mier dan mo mwaka ne karo en. Muhozi tika mitu dano en wini ki wai PLU ni we. Muhozi mier dan ma ene romu chor toke. Unyo ene romu borne. Dano ma wini loke doko batimu gina ene wajo. Unen loke anyway. So, next thing here. Okay. I've already told you about the scariness of something that will happen during the event. Okay. They also want to seriously suppress the country by causing further arrests. Those, the sovereignty bill, I like to talk about that. It's not something that I must always speak about, but sometimes in the developments, they keep changing the goalpost. So with the sovereignty bill, apparently they're going to continue executing until their wish is fulfilled. And then at some point, they are going to arrange to have somebody go and sue and in disagreement, in grievance with the sovereignty bill. They're not going to do it now, okay? But they have it all arranged. Somebody will go and complain and file a suit against the sovereignty bill. Then eventually they will drop it because I understand they are worried that the sovereignty bill is going to affect the economy and Muhoz is not going to manage an economy that is constantly draining or that is losing finances. Because right now Uganda is not getting as much aid as it used to get. So because of that, the sovereignty bill has, like I said, Museveni is never on your side. He lights the fire and then he comes to put it out as well. So he has lit the sovereignty bill. They are breaking people's this, that, and the other. Eventually he'll come to put it out, but the damage will have been uncontrollable. Uncontrollable. Now, so sovereignty bill and in a winny dare. Pamita lawyer chawe ento plan gitieni kat dong Museveni utiako swearing in made me ugineni kumuhozi. Entika neno ni gamente po Muhozi bubedla bo chente. Pien economy ma aki woro, chene ma aki woro ma donyi Uganda, dit lo chene ma kikeri ma kinywalo ki Uganda. Jo ma wanigi mo chwal chene mengo. Chene ma aki woro dit loyo. So, gitika nongo ni tateka gini to buberu tieba. Kawa wai wa medeki din ugene nini. Chi muhozi buberu ke gamente matero tu no chene peye. So gimete gitiak jamio wenki mirigi pien kuberichani sovereignty bill enini uberu metweno chagulanyi wako. The purpose of the sovereignty bill is to keep His Excellency out, abroad, not to come back and stifle all of his activities for National Unity Platform in Uganda. But in the meantime, it is stifling general economy because they can't make a specific rule only for His Excellency. So they are now going to, so gene sovereignty ni, gukero dong lupelida mukene mawabu chere court wachi chik ini chik kapebe. Wunu nen kita Museveni wiyeti ukere ba. Komberi chawa ni kano neni dano tie maromo kati mawachi bile ni pebe. Chawa ni ayeno karma ma bile karni. Umiara jo ma petia winyu ma pe ye bile. Gutu ki wari kotko. Yani poti me. Ento ka Museveni otia umirine ki bile eni. Ena ido ubo miyo ki jo mani karatali wai wunba. Au cheru wuni kot. Kot ma jo ne bocheri yeni. Me wachu ni bile ni pebe ni. Langol kopi kot eni oberu chwanyare. Ineno? Chwanya Museveni ena ye la dit wi chik or chik me Uganda. Peke bolu niko Chief Justice kona nga. Jami weng chik weng makaru nyo lok me kot weng kira ki ngolo kere kot. Tutwale kot mano lupa ki gen mo ki gen makwako gene opposition. Ini an pole ben opposition. Piara nga mater Museveni kot. Mune ngar moter Museveni kot. Keri kite kota ben no gere. Pe romchu. La cho mani me peasant party ni uter Museveni kot do. Ni anytime ni kui power mabe. Karman Museveni o or ni uchero chi dot lock eni kore. Weri nen ka jo National Unity Platform. Gwak ramu note kere kawachi aya wan wachere wa kese bedbu bobi wa wan wachere one document wa en DR forms ba pia Museveni mero DR forms no long tamani ka jal me peasant party ne uchero chi doro chi nupu bukati wa watiki form en pengeni chagula nyidok generation apart danu do kwano diwi Museveni peromu Lon gimo ke ken keri wachi timnini. Pian ko ke charutin. Museveni wilo drone mia dek piara beach. Mono gene journalist me CNN wajiba. Ento dakira mo ke kanadi. Lutino National Unity Platform ugoyo ginyogoki AI. Roma laboy aba beach. I was just giving an example. How different, how deferred Museveni's generation is that he cannot beat Chagulanyi Sentamu. For instance, today Museveni paid for 350 drones to present his picture in the skies. A few minutes later, National Unity Platform IT geniuses went ahead and used AI and did even a more fabulous detailed picture of Chagulanyi Sentamu. Imagine that. That shows you the disparity between Museveni, his generation, how he works, and the current generation. He cannot beat Chagulanyi Sentamu. Never. The guy is miles ahead. So Museveni can show you all these tricks, but those are old dogs. Those are old tricks of an old dog, not Chagulanyi Sentamu. It's different. It's different. What Chagulanyi is influencing by what he's doing is far different than what Museveni can try to do. He may be satisfied, but it's such a lag that if he had some honest people around him, it would have been better he goes to Tanzania or whatever, to his city and retire. But in as much as he wants to try fighting this, he's going to die trying. I bet you. Museveni will die trying. But he's not going to win. He's not. Okay? During the ceremony at Kololo, several people have been planned to be eliminated. Several people have been planned to be eliminated. There's lots of poison being supplied all over the place. Last night I posted something about Tshisekedi. Felix Tshisekedi of Congo. I know that we can only speak. We can only warn you. We can only say certain things, but it's up to you. Okay? It's up to you. So, yes, Benedict, thank you. Thank you, Benedict. Thank you, Chitaka. There's a conversation going on between the two about 1980. But here's what I want to say. The people who are going to attend Museveni's ceremony tomorrow, several of them will go home and have an ailment. There's lots of poison for cancer, lots of poison for nerve weakness, or cause nerve, like ALS, cause nerve weakness. There's lots and lots of things that they're going to do to. Muhozi wants to clear those old people. Muhozi wants to clear those civil servants who have worked for his father. Muhozi wants to reset Uganda at his pace with the people he wants to continue that country. So I honestly do, I pity these people who tie themselves on this government, thinking that because they're still on good graces, that they'll forever be on good graces. You guys need to wake up. The elites are the bigger problem of Uganda. The people who have studied and mastered Museveni are not one of those elites. When we speak like this, it is not because we are smart. No. We just take our time and see events, how they continuously happen. Like since 1980, similar events, similar atrocities, similar culprit, similar pretentious savior, and not really a savior. He really just comes to put a band-aid and then rips it off. So, same things that people have to realize to let Museveni go. So, meeting ma ikololo joma bo beri ye konune. Joma bo marayat and makiluoni poison duanta. Pian ko beri chane Museveni muhozi meti joma yo beri gamente pa wana ni dong gu ago. Tutwala joma ti mon joma ti public service joma ti offices mogoni ko minister kwa ngagini. Joma bo marayat duanta. Okay? Joma bo marayat duanta. Joma kene makimeti kitim jom aranyi komgi ena ye jom enup kori incident money mo time makibi chelu pianta ta wek Museveni ki kwanya ko ki kunu yor wek time chalo monti ka poro chalo Bobby Wine tika donyo ka mano lochi Johnny enu ni joma kibi nego gini jopa nga joma opposition unyo joma ti gamente machon bo chero ki jone en muhozi kitako doni lotli papiwe. Jo machoni wengu beberu pere. Jo ma bubino kachelo pingi kibi wachi meru jo pa chagulani jo me nup. Even if magu no jo man kikelu gini gubin guchel pingi jo pa Museveni ki. Beri wai jo ma kikelu me gena ma duoi dege kuberi chani. Beri jo ma aki Egypt, Angola, ki Rwanda. Johnny and Emertia Uganda. I watch ni muhozi wachi mete resetting Uganda. Obet chalu chimanyen. Ununge chimanyen kai wilu chimanyen mire ye kai mete gena utikile mono utikile leva choli furi utikile German utikile money unyo mete kala me screen ubedini ume screen saver ubedini manu kita muhozi mete team kede reset Uganda. I am saying that Muhozi wants to reset Uganda to what he wants Uganda to be. Like you buy a new cell phone, you make your own presets to how you will use the phone. You will say, I want it to have English, British English, American English. You want it to have a certain color. You want it to have a screensaver. All those things Museveni is going to do to reset Uganda to a manageable country for him. And you know he's stupid. That means Uganda has to be taken aback. He wants to destroy Uganda so that poor and weak people are manageable for him. Because he's not an intelligent individual. That is his plan. All new offices are going to be raided by the military, both inside and outside. Noop, office pa noop, weng, kibi genero, lumonyo bodonye ye, kibi chero ka makone weng, kibi joti ye do bodon ye jo karwa ento ki bikero lumonyi office pa nupo weng pole mati Kampala ki regional offices mogo badoni Kibi onye mon pien en luo ni ngo jome nup ko ni mobilizing dana go kibi on kitor gamente go Museveni luo ba en wera wachi kama Uganda ti ye kompeti chawani ena ye kama Uganda miro beri ye wonu nge story pa Yosefu may Bible Yosefu beru latien pa David pa Daudi o beru latien a wobi ken lutien ko lutien pa rioya Yosefu ruba o keru leri chwinye kun leke na nyuru anyime anyimpa Yosefu en kita en tiero kere waji ki wana wai baba ale o lekto ba leko beru kuman o waji ku mekine kilu mekine o ujane ana le o lekto ko beru kuman ba lek ma ti lek ne wai ni ana bi tele wono ko weng ana bi beru la tele gankan pe gankan en ana bi tele wono ko weng Joseph waji ku meno chu mekine wai Latin ni ba tana Latin machogo in ya iberi family ma in unyong armo ke kan my family mo ma ini nero ngat ene ki wero beru pigien madaro ngeu be mati e ngat ene maru bawo keri i kom ngat ene i nero ki rajo mo kan kwero we Yosefu beru Latin chogo a chogo pa mzee pa David chi Lutien mo kana wai pingo Latin ene yeda bon baba wa marwal pingo Latin ene rubanti ka yer na me wachni kwane oberu kuman Latin ene po betalo wa ba o megi Yosefu wai ngeyo ba wachat watim gi mo ki Latin ki mir ne ko nawo ki kwanyo Yosefu ki ter ki bolibu kamani ka ki kenyu dok chwin gi po pie ko wai no wachat to ki charo Yosefu kira ki charo ke diegi I choke ki charo Yosefu ki tero beru latij mo ata o beru latij lut en boy en igai padan ki ngongogi ento lek maruba kere Yosefu ni o beru no gien mamiero time ento Yosefu no miero woki eni kwale enu ni me o gien chani manyu ka neni Yosefu wai an kwani an pa miero an bedo adeg batela uno Yosefu no pe o stage money cha me beru latela majo mekine dore ko beru denkan gi cherge no Yosefu kabara kamone kachani ineno so ginana tika wachneni ene Uganda tie kama miero beriye ko beri chama ni Museveni ngeu malo dano o weng ni Uganda miero lo dok gina tika yele Museveni weng alora ma Uganda stika metu neni alora Eva, I'm saying that like Joseph in the Bible, if Joseph was told his whole future and how he would become a king, he would say, you guys, no, I really don't want to go through all that much struggle. But God told Joseph, you are going to be a king someday. But God did not tell Joseph that you are going to be sold by your brothers, you're going to be taken away, you're going to be kept in a hole in the ground, you're going to go through a lot of suffering before you're going to go to prison. No. So faithfully, Joseph knew that when the time came, he would be somebody, but he didn't know how. I'm saying Uganda, we are right where we are supposed to be. Museveni no po biramo a Kenya ya mewachi a Uganda anda ye. Wunu gam gena kui wudong en wundong do lo ne kenu. Eni petime. Museveni po bi a ki Uganda mano po lwenyu mapo ke la yela mapo te mekira tika te meke kumberi chawani Museveni tika te meke kumberi chawani etamiere Museveni utemekere Museveni ngeni Chagulanyi sentamu ena yengat marubao yer me ke la loga Uganda Museveni knows that Chagulanyi sentamu is who is God chosen to bring change in Uganda, and that is why he's fighting him tooth and nail. Every law is to fight Chagulanyi. The stealing of elections is to fight Chagulanyi. The poisoning of Anita Among is to fight Chagulanyi. Did you guys know that Anita Among has been poisoned? And she knows? And she has been poisoned by a nerve agent? Anita Among kuperichane nati wachiwuni Omar Yatogo. Museveni kiumino Anita poison. Poison en yo beru yad ma wero kom dano kwilo. Komi kwil sorry. Komi kwe ineno dano makaki tujile kama ni kweo niwe. Anita Mariat makwe ko mo weng kada ko bukelo cancer. Unu go ko di lonyo manita tikere ni. U go ko di yom chuin manita tikere ni. Makoda Anita do bed mot till bed ria. Ineno kai wono dano to 12 pig wang dano kelly la marach. Anita ko berichano ro tawni endom netali ber Rwandis. Karaman tika cheka me koro ni ana makibing yaw kede. Mwakane do roman. So I know I shouldn't speak about it. It doesn't help us. It doesn't move anything. But Anita Among has been poisoned and she knows it. She has been advised to go to countries like North Korea, Russia, because she has also been sanctioned. So Anita is not welcome to a lot of the Western world. You know, America, the United Kingdom. She's not welcome to most of those countries. So the only places she can go to are communist countries where they have dictators like North Korea. Some from Germany. But the good thing with her is that she has money. She's wealthy. So, when she said Last Supper, yes, Benedict, I was just about to get to that. Lani chama nita ti parliament, ma anda wachi wune anita do chamu yatoko. En no ngeni en bebe Rwandese. En bene no ngeni en ti kin jo chani. Now, en ti bod Museveni gi, neno ka Museveni gi nyar keri. Peter ni ini watge. Jo mogo ma jo wa magiti tungang kenyu lutela wa mogo magien tamne piendong kilwogi cha wengi beru gi muhozi ki anganga gi gien tamne gien de jogi ni no mono ene kitika gwako ga gwaka ki wachi ngad ma gwako upego kor ne opego do chwe de da kayao me achara. I'm saying that most of these people think that when they work with the Musevenis, that they are one of them or part of them. Instead, they are fattening them up for the best kill. I said that a farmer who has pigs can only slaughter one when it's the fattest, because that's when it weighs the most. That's when it brings in the most value. So, Anita Among, good riddance. Many Ugandans have cried because of you. Karamoja, Kampala, Uganda, Northern Uganda. You know, you said those Baganda should not get numbers. I mean, when it comes to you, most Ugandans are just hands off. I'm saying this as a by the way, I didn't even have to. But I want Ugandans to know, those who are still working with them, that it's only a matter of time. When you're fat enough, they will put you out of breath. And they don't care. All those generals, Katumba Wamala, the Otemas, you know, he's my uncle, but I don't know. Okay? So they're still going to continue breaking people's houses. They plan to kill a lot of people, including military personnel. They're going to close a lot of headquarters of a lot of the National Unity Platform locations. Arrest all the leaders and supporters of National Unity Platform people. They are going to continue breaking the houses. And the goal of Museveni is to make sure Noop does not breathe in Uganda. Okay? Gien ma wego Museveni tikate mujami enini oro wenge. Pien Museveni luor Noop dong loyo. All of this is happening because of Noop. And yet Bobby Wine is not even in the country. Bobby Wine pay Uganda. Ento ngad madong ngeni loga tie NIA Museveni. Madong loyo. Luor pikwane awinyi pekati wawara. President pa Congo makilwoni Tshisekedi ni. Urungeni ki America kan mwaka mokarangech. Logo beru kabino yele beru kabino wa US kan bot president makilwoni Trump. Ayela pa Lukongo, jo amati Congo, magobe ka kogadida about Trump. Why John dong nego group makilwoni M23 ni. Mono group mon pa Museveni geni Kagame. So, John and you berka kogadida about America. America kondo Trump wachi koda win ko pa Johnny ba. Trump dong watching en ka ibichero Congo ene come. Good or John Congo. Good ergo noni. Museveni gene Kagame gena emir kwalu but Congo roda megi kama kilwoni goma kika mogo mukayana maduong pien jami me tengom lon me tengom duang deda Chi Johnny and President Trump, me America, Oluo Kagame gini Tshisekedi. O wachi buneno ba? Kagame ana miete ni kwa M23 oko ki Congo. Pian wangeni M23 uberu megi. Kagame beru ngudok wachi. M23 ni oberu pa Museveni. Guberu joma aki bot ki Uganda kacha. Trump dong muka endo pedo kertame ye. O ngeyo ko ni M23 uberu pa Kagame. O wachi Kagame ketchi kayan. Ni puedo obudore Congo. Kagame okeruchie ento ta Congo oerte mujeme tata. O merak lwen M23 itungu no i Congo. Endong president me Congo kok wachi nerba Kagame petika war agreement ma wana keriye chengwani. O weko don America okeru sanction ulor joma aki Rwanda maduwa ta pegira mongolo wako kan. Wa Kagame wa family pa Kagame. Pegira mongolo nyono wako kan wachel. Man genene wa I Kagame gene Museveni adeda. Chi la wo ma president jo tika donyo ka bino ka neno ka kwer ni pa Museveni ko. Angara manu wachani wach ki jo ma aki Congo ni president gimiera po bin. Ana kero message Facebook. Attacking ba jo mana nge ati wa kidana mo bi beru mo miro chung pe president Congo endo po karo. Very US kind. I try to get a message. Pingo pay message o about Tshisekedi ba. Ento tin Tshisekedi ti Uganda. Ano pera nge kira mira luong kingata ene. Pian information ka o borini gwa kuoni pebene don Uganda. Kuperichani Kagame gene Museveni gu yupa yuba memino poison bot Tshisekedi. Maake Kongoni. Mapo ubi neno poberi. Raila Odinga karma Raila bino kanena Museveni wachi kona bi mini position African Union ko ngong gini. Raila ucher cham yatwa ki Uganda. Wa warning Raila mapia ucher Uganda ni plan tieni in dogi tika dogo duongo ngo ilok kwa matika time Sudan pian Sudanese tika to da. Ini cher wa kunu ka rako lok cher ka rako lok pingo. Museveni ndong mero ndong ne ku Raila ku gulo gini ko loke ukati. Whatever ki jo ma ko Raila banu logo wai lete na un kara un tiju bere da wa foi da una you are true son of the soil. Pingo pe Raila tinge da bine Uganda ko wila enong Raila rio de do ta ngara be nge terpe Museveni watin wa dire food wachi duba mo ne kwanya wa Raila ni akwanya ko ne ko ine satan be don pero be ruba. So Johnny Tshisekedi pange ngo makelu Tshisekedi Uganda. Makun nge ni Museveni gini Kagame gendana chel. Anyway, I was talking about Tshisekedi. Tshisekedi was warned yesterday not to come to Uganda, and he actually got the message because Kagame and Museveni have sworn that Tshisekedi will not go back the same way he came. He was warned, he got the message, but he came anyway. Kagame is extremely upset about the Washington Accord, the deal that was signed between Tshisekedi, President Trump, and Kagame. After that, because Kagame did not obey the rules, Kagame's government has been sanctioned. Lots of the militia have been sanctioned. A lot of officers from Rwanda have been sanctioned. So that has pissed Kagame off. But to see that Tshisekedi has risked his life to come to Uganda is appalling. I shared a message last night to my people and my friends who are from Congo. I don't know if it didn't get to him. I know for a fact that he got a message from somebody else. So we wish him well. We can only do what we can do. Okay? Here are the plans of Muhoozi once he assumes power. Mana e plan ma Muhoozi tikere. Dire maja ka de gamu lodge keyboard one. Gengeni Uganda miro change deda. Gengeni Ugandans do all ket gima konye pe. Magi tika tamni umiere gitim make it take wang menen ni gikelo loga mo. Ento loga gini. Ubibere loga marraju ke ken. Neno. Kimete kong kita Museveni yao binu kere unerdan luero. Kita Museveni yao lerdan ya choli. Kita Museveni yao unerdan kibwete rekacha. Kita Museveni unerdan kere dana yoma pat. Muhoozi obebinu Obi meru gera obi wono Ugandans are dead. I'm going to say this in a Choli. It's a list, and then I'll say it in English. Muhozi bubino kikero ne obi wono dano me Uganda dead. Bien, en miete koi kel a yela ko kado iduk chalo ngo. So abi kwanu bukito bukbino ke chalo dano maraja dead. Mano pe Timmo be timme Uganda, ma ena yo ordering. Timma chilwen, suppressing Ugandans. Neno ne Ugandans ti kwa met dija de da. Wo meta de da. Kwanyu ngom ki bot down ki toro wori pa dana bo beru dira de da. Obenero kere da ti yo ne, machalo mal Joma the offices, Joma ti politics. Ki Joma kame ma Joma doma teacher in media kaya ngani. Only when nera gube guago and mon magu kero gube don Uganda. Kong hozi enini. Ti ngongo gini. Lumon ma wako ne yobo temo. Pian peke geno dong lumon me Uganda. Lutino bulu awobe ki mon me bulu ki biber ka mako ki ma duon de da ki mako ki kwanyo ki mako ki moko po bi dugu moko benen ko bitiu ki office me government weng meneno ni gi wono dana de da jomo wa mwa gi do cher ki bineko ki adya ini chera ya ka gam ya malaria ki mini geno kene ma don kai ogang do pera mo gene pede chang Kampala ki wachi bo beru dong Donyo Kampala bo beru tek loyo ki keto luor ma tega de da kin down kom down weng okay kadong jo Uganda ko de da kado ko de da the way I do chando kerba ko muhozi do bidugu ko bo cha ki chonu jemi Twitter okay obo choyo jami Twitter kun wajini anga gi matika timodana maraj kumani Ana abi yubu kanya ko kibi maka ki jo mati ka temu jami marajo de dan jo mati ten yo mano ke won ke tor origini obe mini gi conversation mano na ken pien pe ki mini ni were yu pe ba ki mini me mano na were dun pe mo yo ko ke kan wel jemi bo wachi bo dwa wel jemi ko pen yo marachi ko bo donyo ka yupo ne mano na kere ke buyu mera kere buya okay Kadong eni kado timo meno entamni kade dugu kumeno chi jo Uganda dobo jole magi wachi la tenwa in kare marwa manaka yangdo in kare marwa do pingo dan wachi dan rach kita Museveni ya binu kere enu wipowe Museveni obinu ki neko dana de wo dugu diku ka kokedwu. So I'm saying that these are the plans of Muhoozi after he assumes power. This is after Museveni has sworn in, which then gives him eventually rights or power as president. When they talk PLU, that is what they mean. It is Museveni coming to present Muhoozi like Simba in The Lion King, saying, Na Sibenya. You know that song. I don't have to go there. So they are going to present Muhoozi. That is what Museveni plans to do. Anyway, with that, these are the plans. Muhoozi is going to cause a lot of pain, atrocities, suffering amongst Ugandans. Okay? He's going to make Ugandans feel like it is unbearable to exist in Uganda because he knows that Ugandans want change. And for 3 months, he's going to maintain the foreign militia that he has brought in the country. He's going to keep them. I already told you the guys who are flying the jet planes, the military airplanes are from Egypt, Angola, and Rwanda. So he's going to keep the militia, the ones who are wearing all those masks, the SFCs, the ones from Rwanda, who are already all over Uganda. All borders have been closed. All borders are securely guarded by foreign military. All those events happening, he's going to maintain them to continue to suppress the locals. There's going to be suppression of citizens. I'm reading the list now. Severe suppression of citizens. Rising costs of all merchandise. I mean, if you thought sugar was expensive, it's going to get worse. Land grabbing. Remember, Museveni has 552 land titles that he doesn't know where they belong. And the people who registered for Ndagamuntu out here are now being matched in the system in Uganda to know which is their land. And obviously that means forget your land, because now it's going to be taken up and taken over by Museveni fairly easily. Remember, the land bill is next on the table coming into Parliament. And it's going to be passed by limping Anita Among. Okay, so next on the list. So I said suppression of Uganda. These are the things that Muhoozi is going to do while causing, you know, suppression to Uganda. He's going to come like a savior. The same way and in Acholi, when he came and killed people at night and then woke up. Sure. Sorry. How about on the way back? One moment, please. What? How about on the way back? Okay. Yeah, I'm about that. Okay, yeah. Anyway, so I was reading the list. So starting up there, suppression. So I was saying, preambly, Muhoozi is going to do like his father did when he came. Because when his father came, remember, he caused Obote to be blamed as a bad president who killed the Baganda. And yet Museveni was the one killing the Baganda. So he came in at night and slaughtered Baganda. In the morning he came and he didn't mind wearing the you come and kill people. And then in the morning come in UPD uniform was. They were called RPF or something. Whatever that was at the time, Museveni's uniform. They came to cry with the people in the morning. Here are the things that Muhoozi, like the killings of the Luero people of the Museveni was coming. He's going, there will be rising costs on all merchandise. Land of people's property will continue. Kills anticipated to be hindrance to Muhoozi. His government. In religions, police, religion I mean, Sheikh, I forget his name. There's a video where somebody recorded himself targeting, oh man, I can't believe. There is a sheikh who is young, youthful. He speaks about Museveni, he speaks about Chagulanyi a lot. Sheikh Chiti. There's a video about a video threatening the life of Sheikh Chiti. When I speak about killing of individuals in religions, I mean people like him. They are targeting people like him. There's Father Ochan in Gulu. There are different outspoken religious members or leaders who are on target by this. The police, the people who have worked for the prisons, the people who have worked in the police, those who have been sent to commit atrocities on behalf of these people are going to be eliminated. UPDF, Elwelu, you were used to go and kill people in Kasese. You are on target, and I don't know. Anyway, so people like you, and in political parties, obviously National Unity Platform, because that is Museveni's biggest nightmare, is National Unity Platform. The other category, and other profiled influencers. It doesn't surprise me if some of the Kasukus and all of them, those who are always on media, those who have gotten backhanded about how to treat this or that, you know, change things around, do what's wrong even if they know what's right, such people will be eliminated. They're going to keep external military that they've imported